Hello everyone, Alex here for another Ukrainian news media run-through. So, I will refer to some articles on the Ukrainian news channel 5 that, as I already mentioned in previous videos, belongs to President Poroshenko. The first one is called "The people of the rebel-occupied territories of Donbass are seeking to earn money working for the rebels." It says that because of the railroad blockade that I was covering in one of the previous videos, and I will return to it in this video too. So, because of that, the coal is not being transported and they are losing their jobs and join the rebels militia to be able to earn money and have something to eat. That's what I personally think about it. If you just lost your job and there is nothing to keep you where you are, the first option that will come to one's mind is to flee and not to join a militia where you can be killed in a battle as soon as tomorrow. So I don't believe that those people would do so. They would rather cross the division line and ask for an asylum in Ukraine. And if they actually do that, then it means that they have a huge reason not to go to Ukraine-controlled territories. Something that scares them more than a possible death by a shell or a gun in the rebels' militia. That's something to think about. The next article is called "The Russian military is terrorizing the people of Donbass." Quite a loud name, don't you think? So, it says that only for the last week the rebels' police in Donbass got more than 100 claims from the people that the Russian soldiers are terrorizing them, particularly in Novoazovsk. The rebels' police of Donbass means that the police of the territories that are not controlled by Ukraine. So what proofs do they give us? They refer to a Facebook post by Dmytro Tymchuk, a member of Ukraine's parliament. Here is his post. And what proofs does he have? He refers to an article by the Informational Resistance Organization that he's heading. And what are their proofs? They just claim that they have sources. I think it's a fear-spreading policy of the media. Fear and hate too. They claim something they don't give any proofs of. I think if they would have such proofs, they would immediately show them, because it's a huge thing to confirm a presence of the Russian military there. Because everyone's talking about it, but it won't go farther than talks. There is even a joke on the internet. A meteorite explosion over Chelyabinsk lasted few seconds and was filmed by hundreds of cameras. And the Russian military, Russia has thousands of soldiers in Donbass for more than 2 years. And still no videos of it. That's strange. The next one is about Ukraine's Prime Minister Volodymyr Groysman, saying that the rise of the retirement age that I was talking about in one of my previous videos is not demanded by the IMF and that it is fake. Well, there's only one way to check it. We'll wait and see what happens, and I will return to this topic later. So, back to the railroads blockade. President Poroshenko and Prime Minister Groisman say that this blockade is a threat to the national economy of Ukraine and must be stopped. The Ukrainian energetics is highly dependent on the coal from Donbass, and now it's not being supplied because of the blockade. But it seems to me that all they can do is talking. It's like they don't have any power at all. A complete anarchy. The next 4 articles are about the results of this blockade. I'll just say the article's headers and you will understand it all. The coal stocks on Ukrainian power plants is left only for about 40 days of operation. The government is considering the possibility of blackouts in Ukraine. The Ukrainian power company explained when the blackouts may begin. The emergency state in energetics is declared today. The next one is about Ukraine's government actions to censor the internet in Ukraine. Зорян Shkiryak, who is an advisor of Ukraine's Inner Affairs Minister, proposed to ban Russian social networks in Ukraine to stop the spreading of the informational aggression of Russia. For you to understand, there are no normal functional Ukrainian social networks, and the ones existing are like if you would travel 20 years back in time. So the options are either Russian social networks, mostly VKontakte, which means in touch, and Одноклассники, which means classmates, or Facebook. But the most of Ukrainians are using those 2 Russian ones, and their relatives in Russia are using them too. So basically, this idea is not to block any kind of informational aggression. It's all about breaking the connections between 2 nations. By the way, since I've touched all these social networks topics, I'd like to add some of my impressions. VKontakte, particularly, is a very well-made and convenient and highly functional. I didn't even think much about how well-made it is until lately I decided to register on Facebook to have more reach to the Western public that's mostly using Facebook. And I must say, when I saw this Facebook, I had a feeling that I was sent 10 years back in time because it's so lame. I can't believe that something like this is considered to be uber, mega, hyper company and Zuckerberg is one of the richest and most powerful people on earth. Please don't consider it as a commercial for VKontakte, because they are not paying me. Though maybe they should already. And this one I intentionally left to be the last, because it's a huge thing. The National Council of TV and Radio is checking one of the Ukrainian channels for broadcasting the documentary that's called Олесь Бузина, A Life Beyond Time. They are claiming that this documentary contains a one-sided coverage of events in Ukraine, and particularly the events of Maidan. So they are now seeking for any way to punish this channel for broadcasting it. A freedom of speech in its finest. But I'm actually glad that I stumbled upon this article, because it made me to watch this documentary. And I must say, it affected me strongly. It's a very strong and also emotional film about life and death of the Ukrainian historian, writer and journalist Olесь Buzina. I must say that a lot of Ukrainians will remember him as one of the finest sons of Ukraine. A true patriot that always fought for what he believed in, and he was murdered for this, for his ideas. This movie was made by his family and friends, using footages of the events from the open sources and filming some interviews with his friends and colleagues. It affected me so much that I decided to contact the people that made it and asked if they would allow me to translate and dub it for the Western public. And immediately I got answered that they not only allow me to do this, but they would help me any way they can for it to be done the best way possible. It would be a great honor and privilege for me to be able to pay my respect for this great man. So it would take a few days to negotiate all the details, and hopefully I will start working on this documentary translation. Maybe I'll only do the text and there won't be my voice, or maybe it will have my voice, but the text will be done by some better language expert, because as I said, I'm not a language expert, I'm an IT professional. But maybe I'll do both. Later I will also make a short announcement video for it to be seen by the people that don't watch my news reviews. That's all for today. Have a nice time.